Okay.
Hello everyone, I am Deepak Bhatia. I am from Delhi.
Hi, Deepak. Okay.
Hello, I'm Kapil. I'm from Pune.
From?
Pune.
From Pune. Okay. So we have people from all over. Okay. That's nice. So let's start. Okay. So the question is, why should we consider a low waste lifestyle? Before I start, I want to just show you guys a very small video. It's playing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was one of the landfills that is outside Delhi, and these kind of landfills are there outside all our major cities. In fact, the landfill of one of the landfills in Bombay is not really even outside the city; it's pretty much in the middle of the city. And landfills are a huge, huge issue. One, they are an environmental issue because of all the waste that is dumped there. It is all mixed waste. So there is plastic, there is your wet waste, there's everything mixed up, and because it keeps getting dumped every day on top of each other, on top of it every day, there is a lot of methane gas that is emitted from these landfills, and methane is much more powerful than carbon dioxide in its capacity to retain heat. So it is one of the major reasons for climate change, and landfills across the world are, they contribute to that heavily. The second really sad thing about landfills is that people who live around landfills, their lifespan is actually half of ours. And when I heard this, I was so shocked that, just because we think it's convenient to throw things away, there are people who are not being able to live their full lives. So waste is an issue not just from a climate perspective, it is also a very big issue from the point of, from a social justice point of view. And minimizing our waste that we send to a landfill is one of the best ways for us to slow down climate change in an individual capacity, because as individuals we cannot make policy changes, and we cannot ban fossil fuels and things like that. But just by taking care of our own waste, hang on, somebody has entered. Just by taking care of our own waste, we can make a huge contribution. And one more thing before before I tell you how to reduce waste is that everything that we consume is also, anything which is bad for the environment is also bad for us, because most of the things that we consume, we don't really realize what goes into it. And most of these products that we consume on a daily basis are full of microplastics, and they are full of a lot of toxic chemicals which are bad for us. So what I've realized,
क्या लिया है?
I think somebody is okay. So what I've realized is that whatever is not good for the environment is actually not even good for us. So these, you must have seen these small tiny beads that are there in our toothpaste, and there are in our detergent or in our face washes. These are actually small things called microbeads, which are actually plastic. So when we are using these things, even detergents, when we're washing our clothes with these, because we are wearing the clothes, we are sleeping on our beds, we are actually we are taking in those microplastics into our body. Similarly, when we brush our teeth, when we put stuff on our face, we are actually taking in all those microplastics in our body. So all this is not really good for us either, and it is of course not good for the environment. So the thing is, what can we do? Before we start that, I want to tell you my journey, because this is not how I lived all my life. I started with a few years ago. Before I was into living a sustainable lifestyle, I was like anybody else, shopping all the time, shopaholic, very proud to be one. And now I'm very ashamed that I was, but I was, and I used to shop all the time and have no idea what it's doing, till I had my son. And I bought a cloth diaper for my son. I want to show everybody, this is one of his cloth diapers. And when I bought this cloth diaper, I actually started doing some research, and I realized that disposable diapers are very harmful for my child. And I also realized that disposable diapers are very bad for the environment because they're made of plastic. I had no idea. And also that there are a lot of chemicals in that which turn the liquid into gel. So that also I didn't know that those were chemicals, and they were going to touch my baby. And I was like, oh my God, this is, I can't do this. And I started doing a lot of research, and then that's when I got to know about landfills. That's when I got to know about waste. And that's when I decided that whatever we can do as individuals in our household to reduce that, we will. So we started doing that. And the next picture is me with my composter. This was one of my, I think, biggest steps towards leading a sustainable lifestyle, was starting to compost at home. And then you see my son with me. That is when, he grew up a little bit. I started involving him in everything that we do. So now he does everything with me, from composting to making bioenzyme to gardening to recycling. He is a part of everything that we do. So there are basically three things that we look out for, and these can be guidelines for everyone. The first one is just to reduce our consumption, because I think this whole mess that we are into is because of just consuming mindlessly. I think we all are in that, it's that era where you just want to keep buying things, and things are reasonable. So you're like, okay, let me have 10 instead of one, as opposed to what it used to be maybe a few decades ago. So because we consume so much, we obviously don't end up using everything, and then a lot of things go to waste. And also because we consume so much, there is a lot more pressure on resources to create those products for us, then they get shipped to us. So there's a lot of resources that go behind producing things, and then we don't really end up using them as much. So what I did was, I actually deleted all the shopping apps from my phone, and I also unsubscribed from newsletters so that I don't get tempted to buy. And every time I want to buy something, I think about it and say, do I really need it? Then I just see if I already have something which I can use instead. I do that instead of buying new. So I'm not saying stop buying. I'm just saying reduce buying. Whatever you consume a lot, just see if you can reduce it. So that is a very good first step. The second thing that I would say, and what we have done in our household, is to avoid anything which is disposable, even if it is made of a sustainable material. Like, for example, cotton balls. They are made of cotton, which is a sustainable material, but we're going to use it for 5 seconds and throw it. Or a tissue paper. We're going to use it for a few seconds and we are going to throw it. So that is a disposable product. Anything which is disposable is obviously going into waste. Anything which is disposable has, again, a lot of resources have gone into producing it, and then we're using it for a few minutes or few seconds and then just throwing it away. So that is also waste. So if we can avoid disposable things and use reusable things instead, and I'll give you lots of examples as we go along, then it becomes, you'll reduce a lot of waste. And the third thing that we have started doing is, when we want to buy, instead of buying from a commercial brand, we try and look for a sustainable brand. And in India, there are so many sustainable brands across every category that you can think of, from clothes to shoes to personal care products to home care products to everything that you can think of. There is a sustainable brand. So we can, try and opt for those. We can also opt for pre-loved or second-hand, which is becoming very popular now. And there are a lot of stores online which do that. And you can also, you can have swap swap with your friends, or you can swap with other people. There are actually swap events that happen as well. And if you have kids, I always say for kids, just use pre-loved, because kids grow out of stuff so quickly. There is no really need to keep buying new stuff for them. So these are our three guiding principles that we just follow at home, and this kind of keeps us reduces our waste quite a bit. So when I'm talking about disposable products, I think this is something very obvious. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows plastic bottles, plastic bags, coffee cups, straws, stirrers, single-use cutlery, crockery. We all know that these are single-use plastics and we should avoid them. So I'm not going to spend time on these. But there are a lot of other things that are also disposable, that may or may not have plastic, but are disposable, that we still end up using a lot. So for example, your kitchen scrubs, the ones in the picture here, this is completely made of plastic. You're going to use it for maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, and then you have to replace it. Cling film is absolutely unrecyclable, very thin, bad plastic, which we use to cover our food. Aluminium foil is not plastic, it's made of aluminium, but we usually use it only once. So, you wrap something in an aluminium foil and then you throw it away, which is a huge waste, because aluminium is a very, very difficult metal to produce or to mine from the earth. So throwing it away is a huge waste. Then your Scotch Brite kitchen wipes, these are also completely made of plastic. And again, we'll use it for 10 days, 2 weeks, and we have to throw it away. Tea bags, a lot of people don't know, but tea bags are mostly made of plastic. It's not made of paper. And every time you dip a tea bag in your a hot cup of water, it actually releases a lot of microplastics in your cup. So a tea bag is also disposable, and a tea bag is also made of plastic. Similarly, for coffee filters, which are paper, they may be polypropylene, but again disposable. Cupcake liners, tissue, kitchen tissues that we use a lot in the kitchen, all of these things are disposable. Garbage bags, even though people say biodegradable, compostable, that is all greenwashing. It is all rubbish. Any kind of garbage bag is bad, whether it's made of plastic or whether it's made of any material that people claim that it is made of. And then there are things that we don't really think of as being harmful or being disposable, is, like I said, cotton balls, cotton face wipes, and things which we don't think of as plastic are your diapers and your sanitary pads. They're completely made of plastic.
Sonika, why would you say cotton?
I'm saying cotton is disposable.
Disposable, okay.
Disposable. Yeah. Okay, then we come to party decor. And like gift wrapping. So these shiny gift wrapping papers that we see, they are not paper at all. They are also plastic, and of course they are single use because they get crumpled. You can't use them again. Balloons are single use plastic. People never think of balloons as single use plastic. I don't know why, but balloons are also very harmful, because a lot of animals, and if it goes into the water, then fish and marine life thinks it is attractive. It is something to eat, and they actually eat them. So balloons are very, very harmful, and that's something that I think we all can live without. It's not that difficult to live without balloons. So balloons, your very shiny decorations, all these kind of gift wrapping papers, all of these are actually pretty bad from the environment point of view. So what do we do? And like I said earlier, is use a reusable option instead of a disposable option. So, like for example, instead of a coffee cup, takeaway coffee cup, just carry your own coffee cup. Instead of using a tissue paper, just use a cloth towel or a face napkin. Instead of buying bottled water, just carry your own bottle. Instead of using a plastic bag, carry your own bag. So there are basically reusable options that exist for every possible category. And if anybody has a particular category of stuff that they're looking for, do let me know. But these are just a few examples of things that I put here. You'll also see this t-shirt, which is cut up into various sizes. Well, this is what we now use for everything, as kitchen wipe, surface wipe, pocha, dusting cloth, everything is just cut one old t-shirt into like different sizes and just use it for everything in the house instead of buying any wipes. It also saves a lot of money, so that you can use things like that instead.
What about the kitchen scrubbers? What is the alternative for that?
I'll show you. So I think I briefly spoke about cloth diapering, but if you have a baby and you're considering, you should consider cloth diapering. We did that for my son's entire diapering journey. Even during travels, we have done many trips. We did a 10-day international trip. We have done road trips, and we did everything without using a single disposable diaper, and it was not difficult to do at all. And similarly for women, since there are a lot of women on this workshop, after I discovered cloth diapers, I thought I'm sure there are cloth pads that exist as well, and yes, they do. And in India we have several options of cloth pad brands, so I have been using those for the last many years now. You also get menstrual cups, you get period panties, there are a lot of options in period products which are reusable. So they are very economical because you just buy it once and then it'll last you many years. And the second thing is that sanitary pads are very, very toxic, and they have been linked to several diseases, including some forms of cancer. So it's best to avoid using tampons or disposable sanitary pads. And one thing I want to say here is that a lot of products now claim to be biodegradable or compostable. The moment you throw something in your dustbin, it is not biodegradable and it is not compostable. So don't fall for these kind of things. Just remember, if it is disposable, it is not good. It is best to use something which is reusable instead of using something which is disposable. So that is the kind of rule that we follow, that let it be made of any material, does not matter. If I'm going to throw it away, and if I have to throw it, then it's best to try and avoid that. So personal care products, instead of using your, shower gel, shampoos, there are a lot of things again that you can switch to. Like I'll show you. Like for example, this is my shampoo bar. I have a conditioner bar, and I use a soap bar. So, these are very easy alternatives to, you'll get rid of a shampoo bottle, you'll get rid of a shower gel bottle, you'll get rid of a lot of other plastic from your bathroom if you just switch to sustainable brands which make all of these products. And again, there are tons and tons of brands in India which make all these personal care products. Switch to a bamboo brush instead of a plastic brush. So there are lots of other things. I want to show everybody my toothpaste. This is my toothpaste. It is from a sustainable brand. It comes in a glass bottle and it is amazing. I've been using this for the last few years. So these are some of the things that you can start using instead of using your typical products that come in plastic. And also, if you can see, I haven't got it here, but if you will see the pink and
Sonika, what about our kitchen disposable bags where the dustbin bags and everything? I mean, though they claim to be biodegradable, and like you said, anything which claims to be biodegradable is not. But
no, I'm not saying anything that claims to be biodegradable. I'm saying anything that you're throwing away. And see, a garbage bag is to throw away your garbage, right? So it's not that somebody in a landfill is going to take it out and send it to a facility for for it to be biodegraded or whatever they claim it to be. It's as good as using a plastic bag. So I would say, once we come to waste segregation, I'll show you how you don't need to use any garbage bag at all. So these round things that you can see, the pink and blue one, and beneath that the white one, these are basically, I use these instead of cotton balls. These are just face wipes. So if I have to take off my makeup, if I have to put something on my face, I just use these and everything gets washed. Now, similarly, like personal care products, there are also home care products which are not harmful. which are biodegradable. So a lot of options that we have in India, a lot of brands which make clean, sustainable products. So these are some of the options. This is the dishwash bar that we use. There is a laundry detergent called Coco Gusto. It is amazing. We've been using it for the last 2-3 years now. The third thing that you're seeing is bioenzyme. I can show you. This is what we make at home. It takes 5 minutes to make. So it's very, very easy. And we basically use bioenzyme for floor mopping, for surface cleaning, for washing our bathroom, our toilets, for washing our fruits and vegetables, a lot of things. So because I make it at home, I know exactly what's going inside. I know it's absolutely safe and it is not toxic. So we use bioenzyme. And somebody had asked about kitchen scrubs. Well, this is a loofah, the dried part of a gourd, and these you get very easily, and these are amazing as kitchen scrubs. So we basically use these. Again, you will get them. I'll tell you where all you can buy sustainable products from. There are a lot of marketplaces, so you can just buy these. You also get coconut coir scrubs, which can also be used. So there are a lot of these kind of things which are made of natural materials, which can be used to wash your utensils. Another way where you can really cut down your waste is if you, whenever you're buying grocery or snacks or paneer or mithai, there are a lot of things that you can buy in your own containers. And I have realized that if you go into the market, with your own containers, you will be really surprised at what all you can buy. So if you go to a local Kirana store, they have a lot of things which are loosely available, and they will probably put it in a plastic bag when you ask them to. So instead, if you just carried your own dabba, they will put it in that. It makes no difference to them. You can buy dry fruits, you can buy masalas, you can buy vegetables. I think you can buy a lot of things in your own containers. And when you do that, you'll realize that the amount of plastic that's coming into your house will reduce a lot, because a lot of it comes from food packaging. Here is another example of what all things that you can get. You can get chaat, you can get mithai, you can get cakes and pastries. Just walk into any place with your own containers and you'll really be surprised. Coming to traveling, a lot of us, when we travel, and now that travel has opened up after COVID, I just went on a trip recently, 2 weeks ago, and these are all pictures from my trip. When we went for our trip, if you see on the left, I carried a lot of my reusable things. So we carried a bottle, we carried coffee cups, we carried some dabbas, we carried some cutlery, some cloth bags, some cloth napkins, and then we carried all our toiletries. And then whichever hotel that we went to, as soon as we entered the room, we would just tell them, please take away all your disposable stuff, or all your, whatever is your personal care products that they leave in the room. We would just tell them, can you please take them away? And they would take them away, and then we would use it. So because sometimes what happens is, if you go into a hotel and even if you don't use their stuff, they will still end up throwing it because of hygiene reasons. So we would just go into the room, we would just ask them to come to our room and take everything with them. We always looked out for options where things were available loose, like these dry fruits that you see. These were actually at an airport, and because we were carrying our cloth pouches, we could buy dry fruits in our own cloth pouches without using any plastic. We bought lots of fruits. We used our reusable coffee cup and bought a water bottle a lot. And when I was traveling, I realized that these things may seem obvious, but they are not really obvious, because most tourists will be walking around with a bottle of plastic bottled water, a bottle of water in plastic. So that is something which is very, very common. And just by carrying a bottle of water with you, you can just avoid that. So I think we would have avoided 10, 20 bottles of water on our trip. So many tissue papers, so many takeaway boxes, so many cutlery, just by carrying these few things with us. I think what we can do is, I think we can take a short break. If somebody has any questions, let's do 5 minutes of that, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll join on the second link. Ruby, what do you think? You're on mute.
Sorry. I think that's a good idea. I think you wanted to share the live demo as well, right? Of making the bioenzymes.
Yeah, so
get
we
this.
can do that after the break because we have 5 more minutes on this.
Yeah, so we can take a, anybody's got any questions, please ask, and then we can take a quick 2-minute break and come back on the second.
Yeah, Elena.
I wanted to know the names of some of these brands of toiletries and detergents that you flashed a little while back.
What I will do is I actually have an email with everything, names of brands, where you can buy them from, links. And after the workshop, Ruby can, Ruby or Namrita can just email it to all of you so that it's easy for you to buy.
Okay, that's one. I'm sorry, I have quite a few more questions.
Yeah,
if
please,
that's okay.
please. Carry on.
I'm also looking at genuine recyclers. I don't know if the ones who come to my building are doing the right job, taking it to the right place, etc.
You're in Bombay, right?
Yeah, I'm in Powai, and
Yeah.
I live in a very large complex where a lot of these vendors come, and it's also a very environmentally evolved kind of complex. So we have a lot of this kind of stuff going on. Yet I'm not so sure about the veracity of say my Raddiwala who comes, or the guy who comes claiming that he'll take my bottles or my plastic containers away. So I want to know the names of certain genuine such companies or organizations where I can give them my dry waste for recycling.
Yeah.
My biggest problem in the house is dry waste. Actually, it is enormous. Although I'm trying to be a very mindful consumer, yet I'm not there yet. The kind of things you described, it'll take me a while to get there. But I realize my dry waste is phenomenal, despite being a mindful consumer.
Yeah,
And,
once we start storing it, that's when we realize how much we accumulate. Even we end up accumulating, by the way. So we'll have 2 bags every month and a half, but earlier we would have that much in a week or in a few days. So Bombay, there is 5-hour cycle. They are the best. They are really good, very genuine, and I will send you their. It's a part of my list. I will send it to you. That's why I was asking the names of cities so that I know, because Hyderabad I know, Pune I don't know, Bombay I know, Delhi there are quite a few, Bangalore there are tons and tons. So 5-hour cycle is very good. They're very genuine. They also take things which nobody else will take, because they also send stuff for upcycling. So there are things which cannot be recycled. They will actually send it to people who upcycle them.
Okay.
And they come to Powai twice a month.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so they'll come to your doorstep, to your house, and they will take everything from you.
And I can assure them that they'll have a lot of takers. So if I get some contact,
please tell them. They are amazing. They do.
We'll have more.
No, they do. They do for societies. They will do. Even in our society, we are quite a few people. So they come. They'll just send you a message on WhatsApp that tomorrow we will be coming to your thing. Do you want to pick up? You'll say yes, and then they'll come and pick it up.
Okay. And we also have refillable coming to our building. Since you have done such a lot of research, I wanted to understand if really their products are, plant-based or, not harmful to the environment.
So refillable doesn't have their own products. They only use, they are a service. They use other people's products to dispense it via their system.
Yes.
So they have
come with
herbal
those taps
strategy.
in their van.
Yeah. So they have a few brands which are sustainable. They have regular Surf Excel and all, which I would never buy. But they have herbal strategy. They have Ecom. They have Better India, Better Home, or better one of those, Better Home.
Better Home. I think it's Better Home. Yeah.
Those 3 are good.
Okay. And I know that you will probably touch upon. Sorry.
We also use refillable. A lot of their stuff.
Okay. You will touch upon composting, right, in this session? Because I had some questions around that also.
I will.
So maybe I'll ask that.
I will.
Newspaper recycling also, 5-hour cycle will
5-hour
take care
cycle.
of?
They'll take.
Okay.
They'll take everything. Actually, on the website, there is a list of stuff that they take, and you will realize you don't have to throw anything in your dustbin. They will take everything from, they even
Right,
take
because
used
I
cooking oil.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Used
was
cooking oil, they
listening
take.
to I was listening to your podcast, and I was amazed that you don't have a waste paper basket. I don't know how you manage that, because even when our floors are swept, what do you do with that waste?
That waste goes into the compost.
In the compost. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's just dust.
Okay,
So yeah,
nice.
yeah. Actually, if you can just whatever you use, if it is recyclable, first of all, of course, like I said, our emphasis is to reduce the waste. But still, whatever we generate, which is could be cans, could be bottles, could be paper bags, could be newspaper, could be plastic. If we just clean it and store it and give it to 5-hour cycle, there is absolutely really nothing that they don't take. They even take medicine blister packs. They will take chips packets, which nobody else will take.
Electronic
Whole lot of
waste.
stuff.
I may have to interfere here. Sonika, we have only 1 minute left and this link will expire. I think we need to
Okay,
inform the
so
participant.
let's come back in 2 minutes.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
So are we going to send them, I think, Ruby, are you going to generate a new link and send them another link where they can join, or it is the same link that they will have to join? Can you please inform?
No, I have sent another link. I'm sending them again.
Okay. Should we start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So one more thing that I realized that a lot of us end up generating waste is when we have a celebration, whether it's a birthday party, whether it is Diwali, whether it is, any occasion where we have a lot of guests. And most of the waste that is generated is coming from disposable plates and spoons and glasses, tissue paper and things like that. So this is my son's birthday that we did recently, and we decided that we are not going to generate any waste at all. And we left the venue. We did it in a park, and we left the venue. There was nothing, not one shred of anything left, just because all we did was we used all the crockery and cutlery that we had at home. And I would say, if you don't have enough, borrow it. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares about, everything being the same. So borrow it from someone. That's what we did. We just pulled in everything that we had. We kept a big basket of lots of cloth napkins and, small face towels, again, all assorted, doesn't have to be the same. We carried our own bottles of water. We had like this big dispenser with fresh watermelon juice. We made everything at home. And if you will see the buntings on the left bottom corner, these were made from my mom's old sari. We gave it to an upcycler and she made these beautiful buntings out of them. And this was what we used as decoration. There are a lot of brands in India which make products from fabric waste. And the best part about it is that nobody else in the world can have this buntings, because it's made from my mom's sari. So it's also unique, and it is something that I can use every single year because it's made of cloth. So it's something that is very doable, and you also get these ready made. So you'll, again, from a lot of these upcycle brands, you can just buy a lot of decorations, buy it once and then use it forever. They will hardly go bad. Another thing that we did was, for his birthday, we told everybody that we don't want any new gifts, so please don't buy any gift. Instead, we did a gift swap. So we told every kid to get 2 pre-loved items. Anything that they were not using anymore, we told them to wrap it in newspaper. They got it. We put them in this big basket. And when the kids were leaving, every kid could pick up one item from this basket. And the second item, whatever was left, was for my son, because obviously it's his birthday and he wants gifts. But every kid actually got something back, and it was somebody else's pre-loved. So there was no new thing that was bought for this purpose. We also gave sustainable gifts as return gifts. and we got all the kids to plant in a pot which I painted their names. So it was really sweet because they had their names on it, and then they could plant it and they could take it home. So these are just some ideas. Of course, there are tons of other ideas online. If you go, there are lots and lots of ideas. But I think the whole thing is of just to see where the waste is coming from and then say, okay, what can I do to not generate that waste? So far, I spoke about how do we reduce our waste. And now I want to talk about what do you do with the waste that you generate at home. So basically, there is 3 kinds of waste that we generate. One is a wet waste, which is all your food waste. One is your dry waste, which is all your plastic, metal, glass, paper, etc. And third is reject waste, which is your sanitary waste. If it is your sanitary pads, your diapers, or medical waste, which unfortunately does go into reject waste. There is nothing that we can do about that except reducing it. But the wet waste that we generate from our house is basically 50 to 60% of the waste that we generate every day is our wet waste. So if we can take care of that, then there is you are going to reduce your waste a lot. So that is what we do. This is our composter. It is a terracotta pot. It is 3 pots stacked on top of each other. So it does not take too much space. You can see my son is standing next to it. So it's not very big. You can actually take any container. You can even take a plastic bucket. You can take any matka. You can take any kind of container and just drill some holes in it. That's very important because it has to get some oxygen in. That's very important for composting. And that's all you need as a composter. You can also buy ready-made. There are a lot of brands that are making. Mine is from a company called the Daily Dump. But you have a lot of others as well. So get a composter, and all you have to do is we timed ourselves once. It takes 1 minute a day. That's all it takes to compost. You take a composter, you line it with some dried leaves, and then you just have to put your kitchen waste, and then you have to cover it up with something known as browns, which can be either cocoa peat, which is again very, very easily available, or you can even use dried leaves. So every day, just put your kitchen waste, cover it with your browns, close your composter, and that's it. You keep filling it up. Once your composter is full, you bring down 1 pot, you keep the other empty pot on top, start filling that up. And within a month, after your thing is closed, it will completely turn into compost. So it's actually very simple. It's not difficult. And you will see my son doing it. He's 3.5 now. He's been doing it completely on his own for since he was 3 or a little bit before that. Absolutely easy, no complication, does not stink, does not cause any issues whatsoever. So if you're somebody who wants to give it a try, I would say just go ahead and do it. It's not tough. And Elena, you had some questions on composting. You can ask me.
Yes. From whatever I read on composting, it seems like non-vegetarian food waste should not be going into into composting. Right?
You can. Yeah. Anything which is organic in the sense any material which can break down can go into your compost, including used tissue paper.
Oh, wonderful. And I've heard of Daily Dump, and in fact, I was also planning to get in touch with them. So do they supply this brown layer as well?
Yes, they do.
Or is it something I'll have to source on my own?
No, they do it.
Okay, so there'll be enough browns for me to keep filling on a daily basis,
Yeah.
layering on a daily
The
basis.
starter kit will come with your 1 full bag of 3 kgs, I think, and after that you can just buy it online. You have it in bricks. They're small bricks.
Yeah.
You put the brick in water and it expands.
The cocoa peat, right? I've already
Cocoa peat.
purchased some cocoa peat as well.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can just use normal cocoa peat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Daily Dump is working well for you because
Very
they're the
well.
ones I'm. Okay.
They
And what
have a
about
brand in Yogeshwari. She'll supply it to you.
Okay. You mentioned that there's no smell and there's no flies and maggots, but I think
No,
there
there
would
are
be
maggots. There are maggots.
There are maggots. Right, worms and maggots.
I was going to
Because
show
I think
you.
it's part of that ecosystem, right?
Let me show you. It's in my plant. Can you see
Okay.
this? Oh.
Yeah.
This is the cocoon of a maggot. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
in this plant behind me because I put compost in it. Maggots will
Okay.
come, insects will come, but they will all stay inside. They don't come out.
Okay.
And the maggots will turn into something called a black soldier fly, and it will just fly away. So there is absolutely no issues from maggots. Maggots are very good for composting, and it is a good thing to have them.
And isn't there any nuisance factor in the wet part of our garbage? If there's a little bit of say a dal or so many things that could be
No,
wet.
just make sure you put enough browns.
Okay.
So the browns will basically absorb the moisture,
Right.
and it'll be fine. You just have to make sure, if you see the picture here, my wet waste is completely covered with coco peat. You cannot see any wet waste, right? So that's what you have to ensure. The second picture, if you see. So you put your wet waste is the first picture, cover it with browns is the second picture. So you have to just ensure everything is absolutely covered. You'll get no flies, nothing, because they can't smell anything because it's been covered with coco peat.
Okay. So no problem with non-vegetarian waste, I mean,
No.
fish scale
No.
or eggshells or chicken bones and things.
Not at all.
Everything can go in.
Only thing is, if you
Okay,
put bones will take very long to compost. That's the only thing. You
Right.
can put anything. It just takes anything which is hard and big will take longer to compost. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Like
Got
a mango seed.
Mm-hmm.
Seed takes very, very long because it's very hard.
Right.
That's it. There's no other. Yeah.
Got it. And what about flowers? Can flowers also go into this?
Yes.
Flowers and leaves. Okay. All right.
And the second thing that already touched upon is recycling. So the first picture that you can see is this little station we have to clean our dry waste and then just dry it. We do that. The second is we have these 2 bags in our kitchen. So what we realized was that most of the waste was coming out from the kitchen. So what do? So we just put these 2 bags in the kitchen. These are reusable bags and they have a zip because my son was small at that time. Now it doesn't matter. But you can even take, those laundry baskets that you have, anything which is easy to, put whatever you want to put. You can put anything you want. Just keep something in your kitchen. This is what works for us. We just make sure our dry waste is clean. It goes into these bags. Once these bags are full, if you will see the last picture, that's my son giving stuff for recycling. That 5-hour cycle will come. They come to our doorstep and they take it away. If you're in a city where you don't have a recycler coming to if you can't find one that comes to your home, you have these dry waste collection centers. If you can just Google dry waste collection center near my house or recycler near my house, you will find somebody for sure. And it's a one-time thing. Once you find someone, then it becomes very easy for you to just make it a regular habit to give it to them. So that's what we did. We found 5-hour cycle now every month. Whenever they are visiting us, we call them, they come and they collect it. I would also like to say that if your Raddiwala is taking stuff, give it to them, because Raddiwalas are only doing that because they will make money from it after selling it to the right stream. So it's absolutely fine to give stuff to Raddiwalas. The only problem is they don't take everything. They will only take plastic because plastic is high value. They will take paper only if it's a lot. If you give them very less paper, they are not happy. And also one more thing that one should not give to a Raddiwala is e-waste. E-waste, please give to a e-waste recycler. So 5-hour cycle will also take e-waste. For example, Elena, most recyclers will take it because the Raddiwalas will just take a little bit of the useful part and discard the rest. But if you give it to a proper e-waste recycler, they will make sure that every part of that thing is used. So these guys also take thermocol waste, for example. They take bubble wrap. These are things that usually people will not take.
There's so much packaging waste, when we from e-commerce. I mean, you buy things from an Amazon or from X, Y, and Z.
Stop buying from Amazon.
A little tube like that comes in such a big box, and there's multi-layer packaging. It's just horrible. My God.
Okay, so when I do send you that email, I will tell you 4 or 5 online stores that you can buy stuff from. These will send you stuff in minimal packaging without any plastic, zero plastic. Even the tape that they use is paper tape. It's not plastic tape. So we have switched to buying from those instead of buying from Amazon.
Great.
Whatever we can. If there is something that's not available, fine, but at least one can reduce it.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is my last slide. That before we use and throw, just think about where it came from and where it will go. It's something that I had never thought about. It's something that most of us don't think about. But like I started my presentation, everything goes to a landfill, and landfills are really horrible. And I think there will be a time where there will be no place left within the city and the cities will become landfills. So before we reach that stage, whatever we can do, which is whatever is in our own hands, we should do that. And also don't try and do everything all at once. It is going to be too much to do. Never try to do that. Just take one step at a time. Figure out, if you have a lot of driveways, think about one category that you can cut down instead of trying to do everything all at once. So that is that's my advice, and that's my experience. And also, I'm no expert. I'm just a normal person like all of you who started doing this few years ago. So it's something which is doable. And I think we just have to be a little conscious, and we can do it.
I had one more question, if time permits.
Yeah.
Speaking of using bioenzyme for cleaning purposes, can it also be used in the washing machine for clothes?
Yeah.
Or do you need soap nuts?
You need to add soap nuts.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
I've
just
never used soap
just
nuts,
take a
actually, so I
handful
don't
of
know.
soap nuts. You take a handful of soap nuts, put it in your bioenzyme container for about a week, 10 days. So all the soap will come out. Then just remove the seeds, and you can use that liquid as a detergent.
Okay.
You can use it for any soap. You can use it as a dishwash soap. You can use it as a hand wash. You can use it as a detergent, anything. So I was thinking, if anybody if anybody doesn't have any questions, should I quickly show you how to make bioenzyme?
Yes, please. I have everything ready with me. My peels and the jaggery and all of that.
Hang on. I think there's a lot of sun.
It's very sunny here.
Yeah. Is it better? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, bioenzyme is a
Has anybody else got their stuff, or it's just Sonika showing it? Achha, Leena's got it.
Okay. So bioenzyme is a fermented liquid which is made with fruit peels, jaggery, and water. It'll take very less time. I'll show you how to put it together, but it does take about 3 months to ferment. So once you make this liquid, you can you can replace a lot of your home cleaning products with just bioenzyme. Also, it smells amazing. I cannot tell you how nice it smells. And earlier we used to use Lysol, and I think the whole house used to smell like very chemically, and now it smells really nice. So you need a plastic container. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. I have got pineapple peels. You can use.
Sonika, do you want to stop sharing the screen so then you can be on
Oh,
the...
sorry.
Yeah.
But how do
this
I?
is better. No, this is...
Okay. Okay, so this is my container. These are my pineapple peels. I'm just going to put them. This is jaggery.
This size is okay, or do I need to cut them into small pieces?
Oh, this is fine. Show me your container.
My container, I think, is smaller than yours. It's like
Doesn't
this.
matter. Yeah, as long as you can take it out, it's fine.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so just put your jaggery and your peels in a container, and then just add the water.
100 grams of jaggery, right?
Yeah. And that's all you have to do. You shake it up a little bit. Sorry, my container is very big as compared to what I've put inside. You can fill it up.
Mine is small.
No, that's fine. You can fill it up till here. Just make sure it has a little empty space. A little bit of empty space should always be there. Because this will ferment and release some gas. So it should not be full till the brim. This is what it will be like. And then you just leave this. If you're using a bottle, if you're using a plastic water bottle, then you will need to open the cap every day for about a few days, about a month actually. But if you use a container like this, you will not have to open it. You can just make it in something which is a wide mouth bottle. And then you just leave it for 3 months. Once you make this, you will have, once you make it the first time, after you filter it, the remains that you have of the first batch, you can use it to put in your second batch, and it will make it happen in a month instead of 3 months. So it makes it quickens the process.
Okay. So 300 of peels, 300 of peels and 100 of jaggery and 1 liter of water. That was
That's
the
right.
ratio you had mentioned.
Yes, and you
Okay,
can increase that
something
ratio. So let's
proportionally.
say this is proportionately. So if I want to make 3 liters, I will just take 900 grams of peels, 300 grams of jaggery, and 3 liters of water. So the ratio
And then
has
we
to be
keep it
3
for
is
how
to
long?
1 is to 10.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
And then
if
we
you
keep it for how long?
you keep it for 3 months. If you want it to happen quicker, you can add a pinch of yeast, your nutritional yeast, normal yeast that you use. Just put a pinch, very small amount. Then the fermentation process will be quicker. It will happen in a month. So you can do that. And when you filter it the first time,
Place where you need to keep it, like keep it in the sunlight, keep it in the dark.
no, sorry. I should have mentioned that it has to be kept in the dark. Fermentation is best in the dark. Don't keep it in the sun at all. Just keep it, in the kitchen, any place where there is no sunlight, or keep it under your kitchen sink. That's a very good place to put it. And what you will see is after some time, you'll see a white layer of, you might think it is.
Riddhi is asking, could you repeat the last sentence?
It's saying that there will be a white layer that will form on top. It is not fungus, or it's nothing bad. It's absolutely normal. It's absolutely fine. It does happen. And that is the natural yeast that is formed. Just shake your container if that happens, and just let it be. It's absolutely normal. There's nothing wrong with it. I want to say that because
You
a
need
lot
to
of
look at it or shake it every day or something like that, or can you just let it stay?
I want to tell all of you that I'm a very lazy person, so I don't do anything which takes a lot of effort. So you don't have to do anything. Just leave it in a dark place. If you see a lot of that white thing on top, just shake it up a little bit and leave it. That's it. So after your,
What is the type of the container you mentioned? Because plastics and all, if we close it for a longer time, that will form gas and it will burst also.
no, so if you have a container like this, it will not burst because this is not fully airtight. If you have something which is fully airtight, then you have to open it every day, or every other day. Just open it a little bit, release the gas, and close it.
Okay.
And then once it's ready, you need to just take it and use the.
Once it's ready, it'll look something like this. So it's kind of a clearish liquid. And you have to just dilute it and use it. So just use a little bit in your bucket of water for mopping. Again, for washing fruits and vegetables, this much. If you're using it as a surface spray, you can take a spray bottle and put a little bit of bioenzyme and fill the rest with water. It's a very, very concentrated thing. So use it as
You don't need to strain it or anything, right?
Sorry?
But you need to strain it before using or not required?
Yeah, you have to strain it. That's what I said. After it's ready, just strain it and just take the liquid part and whatever is left over, your pulp, your peels will become a little pulpy. Use it as a starter for your next batch.
All
So
right.
when you add that in your next batch will get ready in a month. Instead of taking 3 months, you don't have to add yeast again. You just have to add the peels from your previous batch. And I would say make a large batch. Instead of 1 liter, try and make, I mean, for the first time, make 1 liter, but the second time onwards, try and make in a bigger container because it gets used up very quickly and it takes about, because it gets used up and it takes about a month to get made. I always make 10, 15 liters at one go. So
Wow. So that
एक ही बार में कर
so you consume about a liter in how long? A month?
Oh, I think we use
Or
more than
part
a
time?
liter. Then I give it to my mom. Then I gift it to people. By the way, I would put it in a wine bottle and take it as a gift for anyone I visit, usually now. So I do that a lot. But we do use a lot of it. It's also one more thing I can tell you is that the water after mopping, we don't throw the water. We put it in a watering can and we water our plants with it, because it is a natural fertilizer, it's a natural pesticide, it's very good for the plant. So imagine we are not, imagine not wasting your
That's amazing.
poche ka
Yeah.
water. So the pocha water goes into our plants, so we don't even throw that. And it is, yeah, I have never put any, I have about 60 odd plants. I have never put any pesticide in my plants, because so bioenzyme is a natural pesticide as well, and it's a natural fertilizer, and we put compost. That's all we do with our plants, and our plants are very healthy. So we have never needed to put any fertilizer or anything else in the plants. So whoever has made it with me, you will, once you make it, I always tell people it's addictive. You will wait for, you will start collecting your peels. Collect your peels in the freezer. Don't put them in the fridge because they can go bad. So you know what we've done? We just kept an open dabba in our freezer. The moment somebody cuts a fruit, they just put the peels directly in the freezer in that dabba. And whenever it's like we have quite a bit, we will just make one batch out of that. So you can make it in, by the way, I make it in those large protein shake boxes, containers. Find any large container, just, make 4-5 liters at one time, and then you're set for a long time. That's what we do. I think we only have a few minutes left now. So any other questions or anything? Also, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram and I post a lot of this stuff. If I discover anything, I post about it. My handle is @Sonika Bhasin, my name. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to help.
I'll be transferring mine to a bigger container. I think this is too small because it's full to the brim right now.
No,
So how
transfer
much
it to
gap? Yeah, how much
at
gap
least
is
an
ideal? I mean,
at least an
At
inch,
least an
inch and
inch.
a half. Yeah. So your container
Because,
should
right
be more volume than
right
your.
now as full as this, so I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
I'll
Put it in a
transfer this
bigger
to
container.
bigger one. Yeah, I'll do that.
Also, I have a weighing scale, so I weigh with this. But if you don't have a weighing scale now, you can just use any container and use the proportion as per the container. So 3 parts of peels, 1 part of jaggery in the container, and 10 parts of water as per the container, just to maintain the ratio. So you can do it weight wise or you can do it volume wise. It's the same thing.
So what are the peels that can go in? Pineapple, musambis, oranges,
Lemon.
Lemon.
Use lemon, not
Any
even the
citrus
peel, just
type.
the squeezed out lemon, squeezed out orange, squeezed out anything. I've
Right.
made with papaya, I've made with watermelon. I make with anything and everything, but remember the smell of the bioenzyme will be the smell of your peel. So you can even make it with flowers. People make with rose, with marigold.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But when you're starting off, just use the ease. I think the most convenient is lemon, orange, mosambi, pineapple, any citrusy fruit, because it will smell very nice. So, you'll have a good experience with it.
I'll let you know once my first batch is ready. I'm sure I'll need some direction at that point.
Don't worry. Anyone
Is
has?
it wanting to make sure you did mention about it is a pest different. This it doesn't attract any ant or something.
What?
Like it doesn't attract any ant or something when we use it afterwards because of
This?
the jaggery.
No. There is, so the end product will have no jaggery in it because the jaggery is eaten up by the microbes to produce the bioenzyme. So the end product has no jaggery remaining. We've been using it
It's a
for 3 years. No problem. It's also very nice for the kitchen counter. Just spray it on your kitchen counter and wipe it. You will not get ants. It is like a miraculous thing. It does many things, but you will find that it helps a lot in just general cleaning of your kitchen as well.
We're doing some very wonderful things in daily life for sustainable living. We usually
Thank you.
read a lot, do bits and bits, but seeing something in action and that too with so much ease is uh, totally impactful for whoever connects it.
Yeah, and by the way, all this has happened over 2 years. So it is not that one day I woke up and suddenly everything happened. No, it is a slow journey. So just take it slow. And I just feel as long as you are aware and you're conscious about it, you will automatically start looking for these kind of alternatives. So don't try and do everything all at once. It all happens slowly. And yeah, reach out to me at any time, because see, I'm a normal person like all of us, and we all have busy lives. So if I find something, I am happy to share it with whoever it can make life easier for.
So, one more question, which is the for the composting thing. We need to keep that out in the sun there.
No, you can keep your composter anywhere as long as it's getting some amount of air. It doesn't have to be in the sun. And the other thing is, yes, if it's raining a lot, then don't keep it where a lot of rainwater goes inside, then that's a problem. So usually, because mine is in a balcony, during the rains, we just put a sheet on it. Or we just try and keep it in a corner so that rainwater does not go inside. That's all you have to make sure that it doesn't become too wet. If it becomes too wet or too dry, the composting process will stop. So as long as water doesn't go inside, it's going to be fine. Sun and all doesn't matter that much. But do try it. Composting is really amazing. It's the most satisfying thing I have ever done in my life, I think.
After seeing practical examples like you showed, it does prove one thing, that it reduces the waste a lot that is going out from your house. So,
Yeah, in some households, it's maybe 70% of your waste is actually your kitchen waste. And your
yeah,
kitchen waste is not waste. It is very nutritious and it is amazing for the soil. And then, when it goes into the landfill, that is what causes all the issues. The methane emissions that happen in the landfill is because of your kitchen waste. So imagine if,
right.
you can, by composting, you can solve 2 issues. And yeah, free fertilizer for your own plants. So
Adding nutrition for
I also gift compost, by the way. So 2 things I gift to people when I go to their house, either a bottle of bioenzyme or a packet of compost. So yeah.
Great
Right,
idea.
Aditi?
You'll send out the information on the products and the brands in an
Yeah.
email, or
Yeah.
would you send it on WhatsApp?
However, I'll send it to Namrata and Ruby, and they can send it on whatever you prefer.
Okay.
Once
can
again, thank you, Sonika.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for taking out time on a Saturday. And
Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you,
This was
everybody.
so
Thank you so
informative.
much. Any other questions? We still have a few minutes more.
we have 2 minutes.
Yeah. Quick. Good.
Yeah, I think we can.
Questions from my side.
Okay. Okay, I think then we can end the session, Ruby.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for participating. I will share a Google form on the group. Please do share your feedback. Sonika, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you so much. And, thank you for sharing all the lovely things that you're doing. I think love the Bioenzymes part a lot. So let us shine and consider what we've learned today. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, if you found the video interesting, make sure you like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also hit the bell icon to get notified every time we upload a new video.